on, man. Come on.
No, if you did a study on these things, there is something beautiful about gender and masculinity and femininity, and I miss that. People, I'm old-fashioned, I am, but I think there's a lot of benefits to that. I love when a man opens my door, and I like those distinctions, and I should have the freedom to be able to enjoy that without offending someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I like when a man opens the door for me. Oh no.
And I think the opposite is true too.
Stones at you. You're like, oh gosh.
I like when a man opens the door. How dare you? Oh my goodness. What kind of feminist are you? It's like, well, yeah. And I think men need to feel needed too. Men want to feel appreciated for opening the door for a woman. Like it's almost like there's this fear, if I open the door for this woman, is she going to appreciate it? Or is she going to look and like, I could have opened that door myself. What are you trying to put me back in the kitchen? Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's bizarre. What are some misconceptions some people, especially maybe today, may have of Hugh Hefner and the Playboy empire?
Misconceptions. Well, for one thing, there's a whole movement. And getting back to, I don't think we even discussed this, but some organizations that think the ends justifies the means. And like with #MeToo, that whole movement, there's very real victims of very real crimes. And if they've been convicted and there's evidence and all of those things are horrific and horrible. But we're living in a time, again, with social media and #MeToo, and it becomes a trend and it becomes a way for, people to tear people down. I think that Hugh Hefner's legacy has been, I don't even know what word to use. Yes, tarnished is a great word to use for that. It's been tarnished. And I think that those things are very sad.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of a whole other, that'd be a whole other conversation. But getting back to legacy, he has a wonderful legacy with, all kinds of reasons why. And morally, even if you don't agree with his lifestyle, only in America could Hugh Hefner have built that empire. And, you can see he's a perfect example of almost a reaction to legalism in the Christian church. And, people that put people down for things, and we're human. And there are a lot of people in the church that will pretend that they're something that they aren't. And he was not a wolf in sheep's clothing. He wasn't even a wolf, but you have people painting him as this monster. And I think it's sad, and it's part of gossip and maligning and judging. And I think Cooper, Hef's son, said it best when he said he thinks that some of these women saying these things, it's kind of their own regrets. And there again, they probably haven't found Jesus Christ. That's between you and me. But, and so they're going to use their own sense of, because they're almost like, I can't believe I did that, but I better make it better.
You better be a villain. Yeah.
He's the monster and a villain. I have to have a villain in my life. And I'm very virtuous. And I believe completely the opposite. And there's that documentary, the one I'm talking about. I won't even mention what it is, but everyone has seen it. And because it's produced so well, I think people believe things and shame on these journalists and people that are not only not getting facts, but it's almost like we praise people that are mentally ill, and that's weird too. And here was a man that did a lot for a lot of people, and the things that are being said, I loved Hef. So many people did. I never slept with Hugh Hefner, and whether I did or didn't, that would be my business, but I would own up to it. You know, I'd be like, yeah, he was my boyfriend and we had, you know, whatever. That would be, you know, but he was always a gentleman to everyone that I've ever spoken to. He was always a gentleman, always kind, always gracious, always giving, and, you know, made my life enriched in so many ways. And it wasn't vulgar or dirty or weird. And he didn't invite me to his bedroom. I think a lot of these girls clawed their way in, you know, and then when he reinvented himself, you know, they wanted part of his harem. That is a personal choice, but it's no reason to attack a person who never, and I will say this in his defense, because his brand was very important to him. As you know, it was the Playboy brand was not hustler. It was not dirty. He would not kiss and tell. He would not have brought you into the bedroom. Isn't that funny? Even though it was Playboy, and you have people that are, if you listen to people, they're a reflection of what they are. And usually people are protecting their flaws, you know, when they're so upset about something or adamant about something. It's like, you're covering something up, or you're lying, protecting your flaws, to make yourself look good. And I think, you know, there's a lot of that going on, and it's very sad, biting the hand that fed you, and you wouldn't even, you know, nobody would know who you are, and you're making millions off of your plight, and, you know, and it's no plight. And sadly, I don't think those people will ever, no matter how much money, success, praise, you know, they're not going to ever have true peace and happiness. And I wish them the best. I really do. I pray for all these people, because life is short, time is short, and, you know, we don't know if we're going to have another day on this planet, or if America's even going to still be here at the rate we're going, Aaron.
we're still on the podcast right now, so we got that going for us. But hey, you know, we're in the world. Catch new episodes of Mental Health Mondays every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Start your week off with a smile and some inspiration.